Well, hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and we are doing part 4, yes, number 4 of our Worship on Wheels. And yes, again, I am in Hambone. It's crazy, huh? Yeah, it's nuts. But it's okay. I'll be back on the Spider before you know it, back on the motorcycles and getting things going as far as the Worship on Wheels are concerned. But we're going to be doing it in the truck again today. Make sure I don't get hit by a log truck here. So number 4 of 4 on fear. You know, what are you afraid of? Here's a saying for you.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
That's right. Nothing to fear but fear itself. There you go. You know, fear in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's simply a warning to pay attention. You know, when I was a boy, I had a fear. I had a phobia. I'll tell you about it. I used to watch this show. You might have seen it. In fact, I watched it again recently, and it is so silly, I don't understand how it scared me at all. It was Dark Shadows, a horror soap opera. Barnabas Collins, man. Barnabas Collins, just the name invoked fear within me as a boy. You know, he was a vampire on this TV show, and I remember turning the lights off at night and being afraid that Barnabas Collins was going to step out of my closet and get me, you know. Now here I am 50-something years later, and you know old Barnabas, he ain't stepped out of the closet yet. And I'm glad, because it would scare the heck out of me if he did. But understand that a lot of our fears are simply things that we don't understand or things that we perceive as scary. There are real scary things, you know. The real scary thing, Coach Vic was given a real scary thing here in the last 6 months, as you all know, that anyone who follows the Coach Bob 3 channel. Coach Vic was diagnosed with cancer, and I'll drop a link up there. She's cancer free and things have gone well, but it was not an easy time for her. You know, she had to be told once again that she had cancer. Just to hear that's the 4th time she's heard that. The idea of going through all of this again, it was tough. It was tough for her. It was tough for me, but way tougher for her. She was afraid of losing her life, and I was afraid of losing her. We both had fear there. But we didn't give up. We didn't give in. We didn't quit. And quickly, Vicky came to me and said, you know, I don't have time to give this time. Here's what I'm going to explain that. She's like, I don't have enough time left in my life to give this cancer. I'm going to pass this dude right here. She goes, I don't have time to give this cancer the ability to rule over me, because if I do, I'm going to be throwing my life away. And that is absolutely unacceptable. So how did she do that? How did she take something that was so scary and just throw it out the window and said, I'm not going to focus on it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to be afraid of this. And she honestly told me this, if it gets me, it gets me. Man, talk about heart, man. That is, I'm telling you, she has heart. Coach Vic, man, she is not a yellow chicken, let me tell you. She's not. That's a phrase I use a lot when somebody's scared. I'm like, don't be a yellow chicken. She is not a yellow chicken, man. She is tough as nails. And when she focuses on something, there it is. Now, what if she had gotten bad news? What if it would have gotten worse? You know, I've lived through that. I've experienced that with my first wife who died of cancer. You know, she was given bad news. It was the news of you have weeks, maybe months to live, and 6 weeks later she died. Did she live that last 6 weeks in fear? No, she did not. You know, there's a song by Rich Mullins called When I Leave, I Want to Go Out Like Elijah. In the chorus, and I might miss a word here or there. I haven't heard the song in a while, but it says this. When I leave, I want to go out like Elijah, with a whirlwind to fuel my chariots of fire. And when I look back on the stars, it'll be like a candlelight at Central Park, and it won't break my heart to say goodbye. You know, I remember listening to that song with Sheila and her going, if it's like that, it's going to be okay. You know, there's a Bible verse that I guarantee you, whenever I mention fear, this is the one that everyone goes to, and here it is. All right, it's 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6 and 7. It says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear. You knew I was going there, didn't you? All you Bible people, y'all know this one. But of power and of love and of a sound mind. You know, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but yet He's given us this ability to be afraid as a reality in our lives to check our safety. But we are not to have a spirit of fear. What does that mean, a spirit of fear? Does that mean never be afraid? Don't be afraid when the rattlesnake is popping his head back and coming forward with the fangs? No, that means you should have a healthy fear of a rattlesnake and run. Don't sit still if they're trying to bite you. All right. So a spirit of fear, that is that deep, paralyzing fear within us that says you can't overcome it. You cannot get over it. And you just live your life in this paralyzing fear that it's over. One of the concepts that I teach people all the time, and I have to constantly reteach myself, you become what you focus on. If you focus on fear, you will become fearful. You will literally develop a spirit of fear. Everything will scare you. Everything. Whether it's riding a motorcycle, climbing a mountain, swimming across a lake, speaking in front of people, raising your children, holding them accountable, telling the truth, being forthright in all areas of your life. All of those things, if you focus on the fear side of it, you'll never do any of those things. We have to focus on the God who has given us a spirit of power, a spirit of hope, and a spirit of love. He's given us those things, and He's given those things for a reason, so that we can overcome all of the craziness that we're going to be faced with in this world. And let me tell you, the crazy times are going to face you. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or any way around it. It's just the way it is. We live in a crazy old world, y'all. And that's the way your life is going to play out. And if you let it beat you down and you focus on your fear, I promise you, you will not accomplish great things. You may make a lot of money. You may have a big house. You may do a lot of things that the world says, well, that, my friends, you are super successful. But if you are waking up every morning in fear, and if you are paralyzed with angst and tightness in your chest and just anxiety, you are not living the life you were called to live. That much I can guarantee you of. So take the spirit that God has given you, receive it well, receive it in power and in awesomeness, knowing that this world has some beautiful things for you, and this life is going to be crazy cool with a lot of crazy bumps, but it's going to be a heck of a ride. So remember this, yes, you are loved, and so am I, and that is great news. Now, you go change the world, and I'll see you on the road real soon.